the fourth session in this series on mindfulness of the body. And so far we've looked at mindfulness of breathing, mindfulness in daily activities, and as Dan mentioned last week, we looked at mindfulness of the elemental qualities of the body. And this morning, I would like to continue that exploration by looking at what I might call mindfulness of the energy body. And I'd like to begin by going back to the Satipatthana Sutta, and in particular, the first foundation of mindfulness, mindfulness of the body. And in this sutta, we could say that the Buddha offers two basic approaches to mindfulness of the body. Firstly, in the sections on mindfulness of breathing and mindfulness of postures and activities, what I called mindfulness in daily life, he really encourages his followers to be mindful of their bodily sensations, the sensory experiences of actually having a body, what it actually feels like to breathe, what it feels like to have a certain posture or to move in a particular way, to lie down or to walk or to brush your teeth, for example. And this approach, what I'm calling mindfulness of bodily sensations, is quite simple and straightforward. And most people can relate to it quite easily because we all have bodily sensations. A second approach that I think we can see in the Satipatthana Sutta, in the mindfulness of the body section, is that the Buddha suggests that we are mindful of the materiality of the body, its substance, if you like. He encourages us, invites us to be aware of its physicality, its corporeality, its suchness, if you like. We can see this, I think, in the sections on mindfulness of the 32 parts of the body that we didn't discuss, the sections on the elemental qualities that we did talk about last week, and the contemplations, the death contemplations that we'll be looking at next week. So these are two approaches to mindfulness of the body that I think we can discern in this sutta, noticing the body as a sensory phenomenon, its sensations, and secondly, noticing its physicality, its materiality, its heft, if you like. And I'm going to suggest another way of practicing mindfulness of the body today, and I'm going to call it mindfulness of the energy body. It kind of combines both of those. And this may sound a bit abstract or airy-fairy, if you like, a bit like some kind of hypothetical thing that I'm asking you to believe in, something called an energy body. But actually, I don't mean it in that way. What I'm talking about here is experiencing the body, a way of looking at the body, of perceiving it as an energetic phenomena, something that we can shift in or into and out of, and that with practice can become quite familiar. So I'm not saying there is such a thing as an energy body, a kind of ontological reality, a physical thing. But I am saying that I think it can be really helpful to be aware of how the body feels energetically on a moment to moment basis, both in formal meditation and in daily life. And when I say feeling the body energetically, what I'm talking about here is how the body feels in terms of its aliveness, its vitality, the sense of the energies flowing in the body, or perhaps being stuck. The vibrational qualities of the body, its textures, its dynamic qualities. This isn't quite the same as being aware of the sensations or the materiality, but it certainly combines them and overlaps with them. And I don't think we're aware of the whole body very much in this kind of energetic way a lot, unless we train ourselves, and then it can become quite natural. Mostly, I think we only tend to pay attention to the whole body when it hurts or there's something wrong. But here I'm suggesting that we can check in regularly with the whole body at the level of its energy or its aliveness. And even if we do focus on the whole body, bring awareness to the whole body, there's a tendency, I think, to think about it conceptually, to layer on thoughts, judgments, ideas, emotions, assumptions about how we think the body should look or should not look, or should feel or shouldn't feel. What I'm suggesting here is that we become aware of the whole body at an energetic level without adding a lot, without adding thoughts, emotions, judgments, just the body, as an energetic phenomena, sensing its vibrational qualities, sensing its textures, sensing how the energies flow and change over time, without adding anything, or at least adding as little as possible. And we can think of this as another form of mindfulness of the body. And I think with practice, it can reveal and open up experiences of the body in a new way. It can inform us as we move through our lives, as we make decisions about what to do or what not to do. So that sometimes with practice, the first thing that you can do when you go into meditation is to check with the energy body. Quite naturally, your attention can go there first, just to check in with the body and the energy flows in it. There's an awareness of how the body actually feels vibrationally, its aliveness in the moment. Now, what I'm calling the energy body doesn't necessarily have rigid or fixed boundaries. It can be amorphous or nebulous, a bit fuzzy in terms of where it begins and ends. We don't have to think of it beginning and ending rigidly at the skin. It can have, if you like, soft and elastic edges. And sometimes it can be helpful to think of the energy body as extending a little bit beyond the surface of the skin, or even imagining it in the shape of an egg, like a 3D oval. So now that I've said what I mean by the energy body, why might this be helpful in practice? And I think the most obvious benefit of energy body practice is that, like all forms of mindfulness of the body, it naturally drops us into the present moment. It drops our awareness down from the head, where it's usually living if you're anything like me, and down into the body. And of course, the body is always in the present moment, unlike the mind. But more than this, I think with energy body practice, the field of mindfulness, this field of awareness, is broader, more integrated, more complete than if we just focus on sensations or just focus on the materiality, the substance of the body. When we practice mindfulness of the energy body, our experience can be somehow more inclusive, more comprehensive. I think related to this, mindfulness of the energy body kind of integrates our experience. It brings together whatever's going on in the heart and the mind and the body in a way that the mind doesn't necessarily control or dictate. So mindfulness of the energy body, I think, can be a great integrator, a great synthesizer of our total experience, our whole experience, in a kind of direct way. But perhaps the largest, most significant benefit of this practice is that the body holds the memory of everything we have ever experienced. As author and researcher Bessel van der Kolk says, the body keeps the score. He has a book of that name, if you're not familiar with it, that I recommend. Or to put it another way, we might say that the body tells the truth. The body tells the truth and it doesn't lie. And if we want to heal, if we want to face all the traumas and wounds that our bodies hold, then mindfulness of the energy body is a really great way to do this. And Tibetan teacher Willa Baker, author of a wonderful book about embodied mindfulness that's called The Wakeful Body, this is what she says about energy body meditation. If energy body meditation is doing its job, space opens within us. And in the space opened by practice, every memory, every trauma will revisit us. Every fear will surface. Our shadow will come into play. This is not a sign of backsliding. It is a sign that the work is beginning. It is a sign that the work is beginning. So mindfulness of the energy body offers a way for us to work with and transform our dukkha. And I think and to experience the joy and delight that the body can contain too. So it really gives us an overall sense of how we are as human beings, not just as separate or isolated parts. It drops us down into our bodies and into a deeper level of truth and meaning and authenticity. Unlike the mind, the body doesn't make things up or pretend. It always tells the truth. It reveals our true state, our true nature, our true being. So now I invite you to please join me and let's do some energy body practice together. And as before, this meditation will be partly guided, and afterwards I will open it up for your comments. Okay. So let's settle into meditation together, closing your eyes if you like, and taking some time to see what kind of posture would feel good right now. You might ask your body what feels best for this meditation, what posture your body would like to take. In a way that is both relaxed and dignified. And when you're ready, letting your awareness drop down into the body and touching base with the sensations of contact between your body and the external environment. Where your body comes into contact with the external world. Perhaps your feet or legs on the floor, feeling the support of the earth. And perhaps noticing the sensations of your back or your butt on the chair or the cushion. And letting yourself be as mindful of those sensations, those points of contact, those areas of contact, as mindful of the sensations as you can, without forcing anything. Noticing perhaps any sounds in the background, without being attached to them, just letting them come and go. And when you're ready, letting any sensations or experiences of the external world fade a little, and letting your attention go to any internal body sensations. Noticing perhaps how your posture feels on the inside. Sensing the body from the inside out. being aware of any areas of discomfort or aches, any tightness. Being aware of any tingling, especially in the hands or the feet, any throbbing. And noticing also any areas inside the body where you don't feel any sensations, any numbness, and sensing into what numbness feels like. Now noticing any areas inside the body that feel pleasant. This is something we can ignore or forget about sometimes. So being mindful of any pleasant internal sensations in the body. Again, not trying to feel anything in particular, just noticing. Sometimes there can be a pleasant sensation of warmth in the belly. Or in the chest, particularly on the exhalation of breath. So tuning into any pleasant sensations in the body. And if you can't find any, that's okay. Just noticing the sensations as directly as you can. Just bare attention. And now, if you're ready, taking a few mindful breaths. And on the exhale, opening up your awareness to the energy of the whole body, letting your attention gradually and gently open and spread over the entire energetic space of the body. The chest, the torso, belly, legs, feet, as well as upwards into the shoulders, arms, hands, your neck, your face, and your head. Expanding and broadening your awareness over the entire three-dimensional space of your body, and even perhaps a little larger. And keeping the awareness open and wide, soft and receptive. If this feels a little strange or unusual, just staying with it as best you can. And being aware of the qualities of the energy that are present. The aliveness, the vitality of the whole body. And sooner or later, your attention may shrink and become focused on a specific part of the body. And just gently noticing this, it's not a problem. Just opening the attention back up again, stretching it to cover the whole body, filling the entire energy body with presence, sensitivity, mindfulness. Or you might find that your attention becomes distracted. Perhaps a thought pops up in the mind and draws you. And again, this is not a problem. Just drop the awareness and open it back up again to the whole body. What we're curious about here, what we're interested in, is the entire space of the energy body, its textures, its vibrational qualities, its tones, its energies, keeping it large and soft and open, spacious. And feeling into the sense of the whole space of the body being energized and expanded with the in-breath, and then a kind of relaxation or letting go with the out-breath. Throughout the whole of the energy body, there are these qualities, tones, vibrations that we're tuning into here. We're opening to, we're becoming aware of, and how they change. Letting the breath open up the body, letting the breath open up the whole space. And sometimes it can be helpful to intentionally check in with parts of the body, but not get caught up in them. So checking that perhaps your feet and your legs are breathing, are being breathed. Checking that your arms and hands are breathing and being breathed. And your head. You don't need to have an anatomical images of the parts of the body, but just sense that region of space, that region of energy. And then open up again to the whole of the energy body breathing. You might get curious about what kind of breath the body wants. Maybe it's a short breath, or maybe it's a long one, or somewhere in between. Don't be afraid to use your imagination to play with the breath, and then notice what the effects are energetically on the whole of the body space. What kind of breath feels good right now? Sensing, if you like, the body and the breath as pure energy. What would help it to feel good, or as good as possible right now? Sensing any pleasure or enjoyment of being with the energy body, breathing in this moment. And taking in a sense of well-being, even if it's very subtle. Perhaps there's a pleasant feeling of uplift when the energy comes into the body on the in-breath, or a feeling of peacefulness as the energy leaves the body in the out-breath. Or perhaps there's a feeling of softness or warmth in the energy body. Can you tune into anything that feels good and intentionally place your awareness on that? Feeling any pleasantness, breathing into the energy body. And hang out there and taking it in. And if your mind says, aren't I just imagining something? Just dropping the awareness back down into the body and bringing your attention back to the felt sense of the whole of the energy body. And let's continue this practice now together in silence. Or if you prefer, switch to any other kind of mindfulness practice that calls to you right now. And now, as this meditation draws to a close, noticing if the energy body feels different from how it did at the beginning of this practice. Does it feel the same? Or does it perhaps feel changed in some way? And if so, what does that difference feel like? Now, sensing the sensations of the body once again more directly, and sensing the physicality of the body sitting here. Noticing the sensations of sitting on the chair or the cushion. Being aware of those points of contact again. I'm going to ring the bell again, and when I do, you might gently let your body stretch or make any gentle movements it might like to do, and opening your eyes gently.